you turn 18.
Yeah.
You take the courses, take the test, get your license. Now what?
Yeah, I was actually working at UFCU.
Okay.
Bank teller. That was my
Yep.
last job
Yep.
before I got into real estate, and that was part of the plan. I was like, where do everybody go? Money. With money, banks. Where do people go get loans? Banks. Where do people save their money for the house? Banks. So I went and got a job as a teller, and that's where I started getting a few leads. My goal was to go there, get into the lending department, get licensed, and then get my real estate license. That way I could be licensed in both departments.
Right.
But
Right.
UFCU, they told me it's a 5-year process for me to get into their lending program. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I just,
It's like a undergrad and a master's degree, you know?
yeah, which is like, UFCU is a very,
Yep.
amazing credit union. And, that's why, like, it's great. They have steps and they have different, levels for you to reach before you could, like, become a lender. It's one of their higher departments.
Right.
So I was at the bank and I was talking to people, asking them about, hey, I see you're taking out $4,000 out of your house account. Are you, like, looking to sell? You're renovating? And it was just, I was like, let me just try that out. And I managed to get about 4 leads from the bank. 10 in total, but 4 that I was able to stay in touch with, nurture.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of started my launch into real estate, because I was at ACC, Austin Community College, Job Hammond, most amazing professor. Like, he's changed my life. I always tell people ACC is the place to be if you want to get into real estate.
Interesting. Okay.
Very great program.
Yep.
Very great professors, and he helped me.
What was he professor of?
The contract or the code of ethics.
Right.
So each professor would teach different course.
Sean, sounds like we need to have him on.
Oh, you should definitely have Job on. He's the smartest person I've ever met, and he's the most amazing person. If you look at his, like, Trek courses, I think it's literally, like, 10 pages. Like, you have to keep skipping for how much credits he has. So he used to bring a bunch of different agents, lenders, brokers, title reps into class. And they used to talk to us about what they're doing during this day, or, like, giving us live feedback.
Right.
And live, education from people who are actually doing it. Not an online course talking about peanuts and comparing it to real estate. Like, that really annoyed me. I'm like, I don't want that.
So ACC had a real estate dedicated course?
Yes.
Okay.
You go there, you spend $1,200, and you get your. It takes about 3 months for you to get your license through them.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you could get your master's in real estate.
Was that like full-time, part-time? Like, how much time was spent, like, in the classroom?
1 day a week, because the way I did it is I had 2 classes, one on Tuesday, 6 p.m., and one on Thursday, 6:30 p.m., and then the other 3 were online.
There you go.
I just wanted the hardest ones in person and the rest
Yep.
online. And, yeah, I was juggling 3 jobs in that. So it was a little bit crazy. Like, I'm working 18 hours and then go
Yep.
to ACC, and then I'm like, am I really going to do this? Like, it was just very challenging times for
Right.
me.
A little bit of a tangent here. Do you think that experience was harder than what you experience now, or do you think it was just ramping you up for what you experience now?
Ramping me up.
Yeah.
Because, like, real estate is nothing that people made it sound, and it was
Right.
nothing that I expected.
Right.
Like, it's like, I'm going to get into real estate, get to be a boss of my own schedule,
Yeah.
do whatever I like, make a lot of money, But I always understood the hard work that comes with sales. And,
Right.
we're selling a very expensive item. So it's like, I think it was easier for me before I got into real estate than now.
Yeah.
I always thought that was the hardest phase of my life.
Right.
But in reality, it's like, no, I haven't even started.
Yeah.
That was just a little warm up compared to what I'm walking into.
I totally agree. I mean, that matches, this is, again, a little bit off topic, but that sort of matches my college experience, where at the time I was like, oh, this is pretty hard. And like, I'm being forced to work hard, and because I worked and went to school as well. But yeah, once you're in the real world, you're like, oh no, that was the warm up lap.
Yeah.
Like, and now we're running.
Yeah.
Right.
and I just feel like I'm not even at 10% to where my potential
Right.
and like where I need to be at.
Lay on us the your current stats. Like,
Yeah.
Number of deals, all that.
All right, so I'm very thankful that this year I'm already at 20.
Yep.
7 closed. I have like about 13 pending, and I last year was pretty tough, like starting out, but I did a lot of follow up.
Yeah.
So that follow up is paying off right now. Like a lot of the people that said they're not ready 8 months ago, 9 months ago, or just told me it's not a good market, or it's just not the right time. They're all coming back around, and we do online marketing, so things are picking up. So we're starting to get more of those as well. And I just think like buyers are more relaxed now. I feel like last year it took me like 10 extra steps just to kind of answer questions, nurture comfort, come up with different creative ways to like make the numbers don't look as scary as they look.
Right.
And like just try to explain to them like, hey, this house is worth $550. If you look at 2021, it was in the 600-700s, but the rates were lower. So like, your rate might be higher, but you're paying a lower price point, and if the rates come down, then you refinance.
Right.
And then even if I explain that to them, some people just not ready or they don't feel comfortable with that.
Right.
So I was kind of understanding of that.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of focused a lot on new builds last year because, I used to go wake up every morning and then like search which new build has the best incentives for clients. Like who's going to give you a 3.99% interest rate, pay for your closing costs, title policy, have a down payment assistance program, give you a fridge, washer, and dryer. And, these are for first-time home buyers that might have only like $14,000 and they didn't even know they could qualify. But I'm like, hey, let's just go 20 minutes further from the area you're looking, and I could get you in a bigger, nicer home with a lower monthly payment. So I did a lot of driving last year.
I don't have to buy any appliances.
Exactly. And a warranty. I always tell, I don't like when a builder don't give me fridge, washer, and dryer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just a little, every home should just come with that,
Right.
But I think new builds are doing really great for people because they're spending a lot of money to get these people incentives.
Yeah.
In a market that was very tough. So I've managed to help a lot of people last year get into homes that they thought they could never buy. And this year, I think things are changed. Like these builders are increasing their prices, taking away their incentives. Like I'm starting to get into multiple offer situations. Like if there's a good property on the market and it's been like a week or two and we go see it, we like it. I call the agent. They're like, yeah, we have an offer in hand and there's a couple of people might be interested. So like I can't go get my buyers, 10-15% off of the home. And a good rate and, getting their closing costs covered. And that's with the new build. On the resale side, like last year, I was able to go, I think none of my clients paid title policy and closing cost. Because I'm like, where the market is at, every property was on the market for 90 to 180 days. They've done about 10 price drops. So I've always So
you had a lot of room to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buyers are protected when the rates are higher and it's a buyer's market. We're able to go there and negotiate.
Right.
And have wiggle room.
I think there's another thing that's interesting, and I don't know, it's interesting listening to you talk about this from our perspective because, we were listening to sort of the broader real estate community, between let's say 2021, when the interest rates started to rise, and there were a lot of people that were like, oh my God, the party's over. This is the end. Buyers aren't gonna, it seems like a lot of real estate agents are doomsday-ish all the time. Whether it's the NAR lawsuit or interest rates rising or whatever, it's like, oh, this is gonna be the end. But you're clearly still killing it, right?
I started out in the hardest time. That's what everybody tells me. And I was like, if that was the hardest time, I'm like, the easy times sound hard to me because I'm like, when people were telling me there was 15, 20 offers on a house and you're putting $10,000 earnest, I'm like, I really would not feel comfortable selling houses to buyers in that market because they're not protected, right. That's what I'm seeing right now. It's a lot of negative energy, it's doomsday, Austin is a declining market, you know? Realtors are never going to get paid. And I'm like, you know, every time there is change, that means there is an opportunity for you to grow more and make more and overcome it. You know, like when there is a disaster, that's when there is opportunity for new people to become billionaires. Like when the market crashes, that's when there is new millionaires and new billionaires, and the people that's had money and they've been comfortable for years and they thought they could never be in that position, you know, are gone. And now there's room for new people. And I'm like, I'm really trying to be the face of the new generation into real estate.
Why do you do it? Real estate is hard work, and if you want to be successful in this industry, you need to know exactly what you are working toward. Once you know that, we can help. Real Geeks is built for agents driven to succeed. We help agents separate themselves from the crowd of mid-tier agents and set a course for greatness. If you know why you grind, we can help you multiply your results. Give us a call.